welcome, visionaries. I've always wanted to record something in this magical place. This is a place where I love to go to work on my art, to really create some of my most, oh my gosh, I think I have something in my teeth, some of my most magical manifestations. Okay, so if you are watching this live on YouTube, give me a hashtag actually live in the group. And if you're watching it later on YouTube, which will be the replay, give me a hashtag replay. I am Hillary. I am an intuitive soul coach and visionary artist. I help creatives tap into their highest timeline in life and in business. And I'm super excited to share with you today this training because in our last training, I said that there's several things that I'm doing behind the scenes this year to quantum leap into a multi six figure creative business. And I've got a list of 10 things, and I'm going to share probably five in this video, and I might share like the other five in a part two. But let's see how far we can get today. And I'm really, really excited to share this with you. And also, just so you know, this is a public space out in nature. And so there's a chance like you could hear people in the background, you could see people in the background. And I'm going to go ahead and just pull up the group so that I can see any comments that might be coming through. As always, I appreciate your comments because it allows more and more of us to be able to see the trainings, to be able to see the videos, and to be able to really just share them. And so, as you know, you guys, I've had a spiritual and creative business for many, many years. And I've always actually wanted to do some of these recordings out in nature. And so I feel really lucky that I'm able to bring this to you today out in nature. And I'd love to do some of the meditations here too. But what I'm going to be sharing is something really wild that happens when you step into overflow. Overflow stretches you, it expands you, and honestly, it can make you even second guess yourself from time to time. So I went live the other day and I promised that I would share the behind the scenes look at exactly what I'm doing to quantum leap into a multi six figure creative brand. So here it is, raw, unfiltered, and in no particular order. If you're a multi passionate like me, selling art, selling courses, retreats, and coaching, you'll want to hear this. So let's dive in. So, number one is strategy. And I want to talk a little bit about what my strategy was last year, because the year before leads, each year in our business has a snowball, a compounding effect. And so the work that we did last year is never lost. The work that we did last year will lead us into our most successful, highest timeline this year. And we can always build upon that work. And even when you feel like maybe you're taking a step back, I always describe it to my clients like a little bit of a slingshot. Sometimes we have to take a step back to propel ourselves forward. And that's one thing I did last year, actually. So, number one is strategy. I changed and I redefined the strategy that I was using in my creative and spiritual business. And what I decided to do is I decided to rebuild my funnel, to reinvestigate how people were really coming into my world. And I decided to set it up a little differently. So I changed. I changed my marketing funnel, and I also, and the word funnel is just like a fancy tech bro word for the way that people come into your world. And that's, something that I teach to my clients. And then the second thing that I did is I worked on building my monthly recurring revenue. Because I'm a creative, because I'm a multi-passionate, I was having some months where I was having huge cash flow and huge cash injections, and then other months where I really wasn't. And I was having to kind of scramble and go through this feast and famine cycle. This is the year prior. So it'd been 2 years back in my business. And so last year, I really focused on building a solid foundation of monthly recurring revenue. A lot of the creatives and spiritual entrepreneurs in my masterminds like to work on this step, whether it be with their offers or whether it be through the paintings that they're selling. They like to establish a steady flow, a steady monthly recurring revenue. So that's something I'm really passionate about. So that was number one. Number two, I've committed to three, maybe four big moves in 2025, which means that I'm going to be committing and consistently doing these things, these three or four things in 2025. I'll probably make a separate video about those, but if you're on my mailing list, you will get these mailed to your inbox. So you'll know what those three or four things that I'm committed to doing are. And I'll just give you a hint. One of them is showing up weekly here on my YouTube channel. So I love this YouTube channel. It's such a creative outlet for me. And I've hit 1,000 subscribers. And so every subscriber just means the world to me. So if you're watching this and you hit the like button, if you leave me a comment, I want to build community here. I want to build a creative and spiritual community. So I'm kind of an interesting artist. I'm not just like the classic painter that you might think about when you think of fine artist or sculptor. I am an artist, but I'm also a healer, and I am a mystical person, a shaman, and a guide. And so you'll find all of those elements here on my YouTube channel. Okay, so strategy number three that I've committed to this year is selling my art more offline. The reason that I'm personally committed to doing that is because I sell a lot of my other offers, like my retreats and my group programs online. And frankly, it's just too much work to be selling all of these different things online all the time. And so I decided to sell my art more to like interior designers, realtors, through galleries. And that's just freeing up some of the time that I'm spending on social media. Now, I did for many, many years, for the past decade, I've sold my art online on social media. So it's not going to completely go away, but I'm just not focusing on it as much. So it doesn't mean that, if you are selling your art on social media, I mean, that's a great thing. You might want to also consider selling it through, offline networks, such as relationships that you have with businesses, corporations, things like that. And so if you're watching live and you're not driving, let me know where you are watching from. I'm always interested where you're joining us from, where in the world you are. But it's a great thing to do if you are a creative, is to think about how you can expand your work and sell your work beyond the algorithm, right? So that we're not, our business isn't based on a shaky foundation. Okay. So strategy number four, I am connecting with other visionaries and female leaders through luxury wellness retreats. So I have a long history of creating wellness experiences, of creating creative wellness experiences. And I've brought that the past 3 years into the retreat space with my dream retreat in Greece, my inspiration retreat in Italy, and now my awaken retreat in Mallorca. And at my awaken retreat in Mallorca, I will be highlighting other female leaders, other visionaries, other creatives, and guides. And we'll be gathering for a week of holistic wellness and, really awakening our highest timeline in Mallorca, Spain. It's a gorgeous island. And that's part of the strategy that I am using, is really building a community of these visionary women like I have here on YouTube, and also inside of this wonderful Facebook group. So And so one of my biggest passions is hosting transformational retreats and also to connect with others, because we really deepen and we learn when we listen and we hear and we start to connect with these other incredible women and hear and learn and deepen our own awakening journey in our own beautiful life experiences. So that is strategy number 4. And then strategy number 5. Strategy number 5, I'm surrounding myself with, and I kind of started talking about this a little bit in number 4, with epic female leaders and light workers. So I realized that my people are really the ones who are here to blaze a new trail, who are here to create a new earth, who are kind of over the old earth paradigm, the 3D, and we're going to just like chart our own path. And it doesn't matter the circumstances, right? The external circumstances, because we're going to tap into our internal power and we're going to create this beautiful world where everybody is just experiencing and expressing their soul purpose and their creativity. So if you are a light worker, I found that a lot of light workers are in all kinds of different positions. They're teachers, they're in the healthcare system, they're therapists, they're in C-suite, for corporations. But you could be a light worker. There's a really famous guy that I love to listen to. His name is Jeff, and he was like a tech guy, but he was actually an energetic healer and a light worker in disguise. And he started his own energy healing practice after many, many, many years of working in the tech industry. So the type of people who come to my retreats and to my workshops and experience my coaching are often, they have this deeper purpose of working the light here on the planet. And that in often they've written books or they've spoken on the global stage. And sorry, there's like some little kids playing over here next to me. And often they have just done all of these incredible things. And so this is who I am bringing into this community. If you know somebody like this, feel free to tag them, feel free to invite this person into the group, into the space. And who are you surrounding yourself with? I love this question. So, like, who are your people? Who are you leading in community? Because the proximity to other like minded individuals really, truly creates a lot of greatness. So, hopefully, it's not too noisy in the background. Like I said, this is a public space. And so, I've got some people next to me that are making quite a bit of sound. That's okay. But I'm really, really happy. Usually it's really quiet here, but today, because it's Valentine's Day, it's an extremely popular day to come and visit this beautiful botanical garden. And so I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. I am going to record part 2 of this video where I share the other 5 things that I'm doing. And I welcome you to just, drop a comment if one of these 5 things really resonated with you, if it's part of where you're at on your soul business journey or your personal journey. I'd love to hear from you. And thanks so much for hopping on live here with me today and for watching. And I couldn't see the comments live. I checked. And so I'm going to go back and respond to the comments right now after hopping off of this recording.